Stop what you're doing right now and subscribe to the newest college sports YouTube channel.
College football is around the corner, and the new BBOC channel is your destination for betting on college sports.
Interviews with former college athletes and other topics such as College Football 25.
Subscribe now and get in on the action.
Welcome to Links and Locks, Action Network's golf betting podcast. I'm your host, Andy Lack, and I'll be joined alongside Action Golf contributor Tony Sartori for these Best Bets episodes. Tony and I will play 18 holes today, giving our 18 favorite picks for this week's tour event, the Procore Championship. Tony and I will play 18 holes today, giving our 18 favorite picks for this week's tour event, the Procore Championship. Okay, Tony, we're on the first tee here for our Procore Championship Best Bets. Get us started.
All right, I'm going to start us off, with JJ Spaun, outright winner at 40-1. He enters this week in great form. He's made the weekend in each of his past 6 tournaments. He has 3 top 10 finishes over that stretch, including his most recent third-place performance at the Wyndham Championship. It was a great all-around week for him. He gained true strokes in every category across the board, while also remaining more accurate and longer off the tee than the field average. So that well-roundedness I'm really trying to target, and I think he's going to be able to carry that well into Silverado Resort, a venue at which he has posted 2 top 11 finishes at over the past 4 years. This success makes sense considering that Spaun possesses a strong short game and ranks above the tour average in strokes gained around the green. Last year, each of the top 5 finishers here ranked 15th or higher among the field in that category, the only statistic or metric in which such a dominating trend occurred. Additionally, 17.4% of approach shots at Silverado come from the 125 to 150 yard range. Short course, the long hitters aren't going to really have any advantage here. And that was the largest distribution among the 25 yard range groupings. So good short, his short game is good. Spaun enters this week in good form, and he's above the tour average in birdie or better percentage from that 125 to 150 distance. So at 40-1, JJ Spaun is my favorite outright play this week.
I've got another bet in the 40-1 range, and I took Eric Cole at 40-1. I actually took a 50-1 on him. There's still 40s widely available. I like him all the way down to 30, 35. This was the #1 player in my statistical model this week. I actually think we're getting a pretty good number here. The name of the game for me at Silverado this week is wedges and putting, right? And those are 2 areas of the game that Eric Cole excels at. He finished 4th at this event last year. He was fairly dominant on approach. I expect that formula to work wonders for him as well. The biggest weakness in Eric Cole's game is his driver. In fact, that's really the only thing that was holding him back from more success across the back of the last couple of months of the season. But Silverado is a really short golf course where you can just club down off the tee, right? We've seen players like Sahith Theegala, who can be wayward at times with the driver as well. Just club down off the tee. The fairways are so narrow that even the most accurate players are losing a bit of their advantage. You basically just club down, and it's wedges from the rough, wedges from the fairway, make a bunch of putts inside 15 feet. That sounds like Eric Cole to me. He is my best bet this week at 40-1.
Love it. I knew we were going to kind of view this course the same way, and I'm also on Eric Cole, first round leader at 55-1. Not much to add to what you said. Like I talked about with Spaun too. This course is going to reward those with strong short game, and it's going to forgive those who lack off the tee. And that, like you said, is Eric Cole. He had a disastrous middle of the season last year, but he finally found his groove over the summer. He made the weekend in each of his past 8 tournaments. I'm not sold that he's maybe all the way back to win yet, at least for me personally. But I like your play obviously enough because I have him in the first round leader market as well at 55-1. But I like him in the first round leader, and it's like you say, finished 4th here last year, and short game player that's strong, and just for the same reasons you like him, I'm also on him, but just in the first round leader market.
I have another outright for us at 40-1, Brendon Todd. I think that there are a couple golf courses on the PGA Tour that play right into Todd's skill set. This being one of them. Todd is one of the shortest players on the PGA Tour, but what he lacks for in length, he makes up for with elite wedge play and putting. This is not a golf course that distance is really going to help you all that much because of the narrow tree-lined fairways. You can't really bomb and gouge this golf course to death. And, you know, even for the players that can bomb and gouge it, the shorter players aren't hurt that much either. The shorter players still have the ability to leach a lot of these par fives in 2 strokes and still have shorter irons on a lot of the par fours as well. That should not come as a surprise that Brendon Todd has played so well here in the past. He's been great on the West Coast. He's been great on the fall swing. I love him here at 40-1. I think his putter can get hot enough to carry him to another fall swing victory here. He's already won a couple times over the course of his career in the fall swing.
Yep, I like I said, I knew we were going to see this tournament the same. I'm also on Brendon Todd outright at 40-1. Don't want to add too much again to what you said. The only thing I would just like to also further say is that he profiles well for this course because he possesses an extremely strong short game and he's reliable accuracy wise. The only thing he doesn't really have is the distance. And like you said, got long hitters is not that's not what you need to win at this course. So I think Todd, this is a winnable event for him for sure. Good experience here. He's good form. He's made the weekend in each of his past 5 tournaments and has gained true total strokes in each of those 5 events. So again, like you said, good short game player, 40-1, Brendon Todd. I'm also on him to win this week.
I'm going to take us into the top 10 market here. I have a couple of top 10 wagers that I like. These guys just missed my outright card. It's a good time to buy low on Max Homa. I bet him top 10 plus 225. I was circling around the 22-1. I think that's a wild number on Homa in this field to be the same price as Matt McNeely. Listen, I know that Max Homa has not been playing his best golf down the stretch, but if you look at his final round numbers from the BMW Championship, where he posted the best round on the entire course, shot 66, 5 under par in the final round of the BMW Championship. He was one of the best in the field on approach. His irons started to come around. Homa was selected to the President's Cup team. I think that's a big part of the reason why he is here grinding, trying to tune up for that President's Cup. He has played a lot of his best golf in team competitions. I know he cares deeply about performing at the President's Cup. He's had 2 weeks off now. I expect this to be a pretty good get right spot for him. I'm not sure if he's going to win the tournament. I'm not sure if he's going to win the tournament 3 times in the last 4 years, but the #1 West Coast player over the last 5 years, not just in this field, on the entire PGA Tour, it's Max Homa. Okay, Max Homa dominates on the West Coast. He dominates on POA greens. He's a 2-time winner at this event, and he's the same outright betting price as Maverick McNeely this week, who couldn't close a door if it was a golf tournament. So, give me Max Homa. I like the 22-1 number, but for this week's purposes, I have him at plus 225, top 10. I think this is a really good spot for him to re-announce himself as a worthy one of the 20 best players in the game.
I absolutely love that play. If there's any place where he is going to turn it back around, it would be here. I'm going to go back to the outright market. I'm going to go after Adam Svensson at 55-1. So Svensson's coming off his best performance of the year, which was a 7th place finish at the Wyndham Championship. And I think he will carry that momentum into this week, given that he ranks above the tour average in true strokes gained around the green. He also ranks 29th on tour this season in birdie or better percentage from that 125 to 150 yard range distance that I mentioned earlier. And he also finished 12th here last year, which makes sense because like we keep talking about, like with Todd, for example, his weakness, or Svensson's weakness rather, is his lack of distance off the tee. And that's minimized here. And he's got a really strong short game. So at 55-1, I like Adam Svensson's chances this week.
I have one more top 10 play for us. This one's a bit more of a long shot in Matt Kuchar, top 10 plus 425. I'm not sure if he has enough in the tank anymore to win a golf tournament. He did come awfully damn close at the Wyndham Championship and the 3M Open. So top 10 might be his ceiling, but I thought plus 425 on a player that has back-to-back top 12 finishes in his last 2 starts at Silverado, is hitting the ball great, is putting great at the moment. This is some of the best golf he's played over the last month, over the last couple of years for Matt Kuchar. And I think if there's ever a golf course similar to what we talked about with Brendon Todd, where a lack of distance is not going to hurt you by any means, it's a golf course like Silverado, which is should not come as a surprise that Kuchar has played so well here in the past, and players like Kuchar have played so well here in the past. You get the strong course fit, the strong recent form. Give me Matt Kuchar plus 425 to finish top 10 this week.
For those listening, I promise we don't see each other's picks before we record. I am also on Matt Kuchar, top 10. I got him at 5-1 this morning. I would also play 425, though, if that's the number right now. He just finished third at the 3M Open and 12th at the Wyndham Championship, which marks 2 consecutive tournaments in which he danced around this market. And I believe he can make it 3. He just finished 7th here last year. So you're going to be 5-1 on the guy to do it again against this pretty weak field. I absolutely think he can do it when you combine the recent form and how much it is a course fit for Kuchar, who ranks above the tour average in true strokes gained around the green and birdie or better percentage from the 125 to 150 yard range. So with Andy here, I'm also on Kuchar, top 10.
I'll take us into the top 20 market. I have Chan Kim, top 20 plus 220. I just love the way that Kim has been playing at the moment. I know that this is his first appearance at Silverado, but he's quietly developed into one of the better iron players over the last couple of months. He's coming off multiple top 15 finishes. He didn't qualify for the FedEx Cup playoffs, but he came awfully damn close, and he was one of the hottest iron players heading into the FedEx Cup playoffs. It really just comes down to the flat stick for him, because the way that he's been driving the ball and hitting his irons over the last 2 months, it's one of the best in the field by my numbers. So I don't know if I trust the putter all the way to get him to a victory, but I thought plus 220 on a top 20 for one of the hottest ball strikers in this entire field was a lot of value by my numbers.
I like it. I have to take us back to, I missed one outright play earlier I got to go back to, and that's Mackenzie Hughes at 55-1. So the second Canadian I'm going after in the outright market, but I just like his high floor for this event because he's made the weekend in 14 of his past 17 tournaments, and he has 3 top 7 finishes over that stretch. And he's capable of boom weeks, as shown by those top 7 finishes. If he's going to have another boom week, then Silverado Resort would be a logical place for it to occur, given Hughes' tremendous short game. He's one of the best around the green players and putters on tour, which is why he ranks 36th in birdie or better percentage from approach distance of 125 to 150. And he's going to find himself in that range a lot this week, and that means a lot of birdie opportunities for him. And given how strong that putter has been for him, 55-1 just seems like a playable number for a guy who, at minimum, I think he's going to be at least in the top 20 entry Sunday, top 15, top 10 entry Sunday. So with that high floor, I think 55-1 makes it that a playable number.
Love that. I am going to stay in the top 20 market for Andrew Putnam, top 20. I mentioned earlier that I think the roadmap to success at Silverado is either through elite wedge play, or elite putting, or a little bit of both. And those are the 2 things that Andrew Putnam does well. Very similar to what we talked about with Matt Kuchar and Brendon Todd. He's not a great driver of the ball. He doesn't pretend to be. He's one of the shorter players on tour. He's maybe a little bit longer than a Matt Kuchar or a Brendon Todd, but his real skill is that he is a phenomenal putter, particularly on bent POA greens. He's a very solid wedge player as well. He's had a couple really strong iron performances to finish the season. He gained over 6 strokes on approach in 2 out of his last 3 starts to close the season. He's played decently at this golf course in the past. I love the upside that I'm getting from those wedges and that putting. Those are the types of guys that I'm targeting this week. Are you a good wedge player? Are you a good putter? Andrew Putnam is one of those guys that you can get farther down the board. A lot of value on those types of players that have that skill set, in my opinion. And Andrew Putnam does those 2 things better than many of the players in this field. So Andrew Putnam plus 250, top 20.
You're really making my job so easy for this podcast. I was also on Putnam. I'm on top 10 plus 700. So a little bit of a dart throw. But I just think he's capable of doing it against his wire downfield. And for all the reasons you say, he's an excellent short game player. His main weakness is distance off the tee. And as we both keep saying, this is a course where that really will not come into play. He's such an excellent short game player. He's such an excellent putter, like you said. And the only reason I think his top 10, 7-1 return is so high is because his recent form has not been as strong as some of the other guys. But if he's going to turn around any tournament, it's going to be this one. And you know on his good weeks that he can bring it. He finished 8th at the Arnold Palmer earlier this year. And that was against the signature event field. This field is going to be way easier for him to compete against. And this is a course that is seemingly designed for a player like Putnam. So I think 7-1 is just kind of a buy low number because of his recent form. And I'm going to take that for him to finish inside the top 10.
I'm going to take us into the matchup market here. And I'm going to go with Corey Connors -135 over Minwoo Lee. These are two President's Cup teammates that we'll see in a couple weeks representing the international side at Royal Montreal. You get a kind of a bit of an inverse scenario here where Corey Connors is one of the best iron players in the field and Minwoo Lee is one of the worst iron players in the field, particularly at this price point. Corey Connors is not a great putter. Minwoo Lee is a very good putter. I'm going to take Corey Connors' irons here over Minwoo Lee's putting. I just think the combination of the accuracy off the tee that Connors possesses, the elite approach play, and he's actually been chipping and putting a lot better over these last couple of months. I do not think that Minwoo Lee can hit his irons close enough consistently to win this type of golf tournament. I want to play Minwoo Lee on golf courses where his power off the tee is accentuated, not diminished. This is a golf course that I think is going to take driver out of his hands quite a bit. Doesn't mean that a player like Minwoo Lee can't succeed here. You know, Cameron Champs have won here in the past, but the difference between Minwoo Lee and some of the other bombers that have played well here, they're all really great wedge players. And Minwoo Lee has just not been a solid iron player for the better last half of the year, the 2024 season. So I'm going to take Corey Connors -135 over Minwoo Lee.
Absolutely love that. Huge Connors fan. I'm going to go to the first round leader market and go after Sahith Theegala at 30-1. He's a tournament favorite. I do not love taking him at 12-1, but I'll take a flyer on 30-1 on him to lead after Thursday. That's just a much more appealing bet to me for a little bit of a sprinkle. The defending champion is obviously capable of going back to back here. We just saw Homa do it a couple years ago, but 30-1 is just an incredibly solid payoff for a guy who ranks above the tour average in round one scoring. He's also in great form. He just finished third at the Tour Championship, which also I think will be a massive advantage for Theegala on Thursday, given that the majority of this field, since it's not the top players on tour, the majority of this field has not played in over a month. So Theegala is bringing in that recent form. He's going to bring it right into Thursday, having just played in the Tour Championship. And I do think guys like him and Clark, who I will talk about with my last pick, will have an advantage on Thursday over the guys that have not played in a month.
I'm gonna join you in the first round later market. Mine's a little bit more of a long shot. I bet Beau Hossler 50-1 first round later. I talked about that skill set of wedge play and putting. What Beau Hossler may lack in the approach department, I have him as the number one pure bent grass / bent POA putter in this entire field. He is one of the best fall swing performers in this entire field. He's one of the best West Coast performers in this entire field. And if you filter out this field for round one scoring average over the last 12 months, the number one player in this field is Beau Hossler. I cannot believe that I'm getting the number one round one scorer in this field over the last 12 months on a golf course that fits his game to a T at 50-1. Give me Beau Hossler 50-1 first round later.
I love it. And then for my final play, I alluded to it last with the Sahith play, but going after the two chalky plays in the first round leader market, and that's also going to sprinkle on Wyndham Clark at 30-1 to lead after Thursday. As I said, I think Thursday is going to be a big adjustment day for the majority of the field that did miss the playoffs. Obviously, these guys are still out there playing golf, but it's going to be a tour competitive, or it's going to be a competitive event played on tour. It will be an advantage for the guys who just played at the Tour Championship versus those who have not played in this type of setting in over a month. And that cohort of those who have not played recently does not include Clark, obviously, because he just finished 8th at the Tour Championship. Including the Olympics, Clark has finished inside the top 15 in 6 of his past 7 tournaments, making him the hottest golfer in this field, in my opinion. And his track record at Silverado isn't the greatest, which is why I kind of didn't want him in the outright market, especially because he was like down to 12-1 as well with Theegala. But I'm more than happy to take him at 30-1 in the first round leader market.
I'm going to finish us off here with a bit more of a long shot play in the first round later market in Justin Lauer, 80-1. Very similar to Beau Hossler. I mean, wedges and putting. Justin Lauer is one of the best putters in this field. He's actually a far better approach player than Beau Hossler as well. And he has a 4th place finish at the Fortinet Championship as well. He's one of the best round one scorers as well. Justin Lauer over the last 12 months ranks 4th in this entire field in round one scoring, not to mention the fact that he has also finished 4th at the Fortinet and is one of the best pure bent grass putters in this field. I always want to target those guys that are great putters for single round scoring, because to win one of these first round leader bets, you need one of your guys to have that spike ability with the putter. Justin Lauer has shown that he can do it in the past. Give me Justin Lauer 80-1 in the first round leader market. That will do it for our best bets episode for the Procore Championship. As a reminder, our action experts Spencer Aguiar and Nick Bretwish return with host Roberto Arguello tomorrow for our Tour Championship betting preview right here, or excuse me, our Procore Championship betting preview right here on the Links and Locks podcast. So for Tony Sartori, I'm your host, Andy Lack, and we'll see you back here next week on the Links and Locks podcast.